Hey everybody, Pan Richard here. A friend of mine by the name of Ryan aka YouTube's Tasuke made a video encouraging fans to share their Tales histories with others through their own videos, posts, etc. And I thought, sure, why not? It is in commemoration of Tales of its 20th anniversary, so it's kind of a nice way to remind each other how we've all gotten into the series that we've all known to love. So, where do I begin? I remember when I first got into forums in 2004, and the super forum known as Nintendo Main was at its birth. Everyone there was talking about Tales of Symphonia, including the admin of the site. Fast forward to April Fools of 2005 when I was doing my bi-weekly rental at the local video store. My sister was in the mood for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle again, but I was thinking that I needed to take a step out of my comfort zone. I needed a game that wasn't a Nintendo first-party game, something that wasn't a Mario game, or any of its related properties. Cue in Tales of Symphonia. The anime-like box art was a bit daunting. Who are these people? 3 girls and 1 dude, all staring intently in a fantasy-like setting? I was nervous about making this decision at the age of 13. But I did it. I rented the game. As my sister chastised me for not racing against her in City Escape for the 50th time, I loaded the disc and watched the anime opening. Still, with the question in my head, what am I getting myself into? A little bit of background, I never got into the likes of Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts at the time. So to see an RPG with voice acting, actual people interactions, and a sense of realism was a new sensation altogether. It was a weird feeling. And then the game throws me into my first battle.
Let's go all out!
Oh boy, this freedom of moving around in battle was unbelievably refreshing. This freedom was something I've never felt in an RPG before. Going from this to this was such a huge jump in battle styles that the system itself kept me hooked on the game. Throughout my subsequent rentals and eventual purchase, I dragged my sister, cousins, and friends into the game and they were just as hooked as I. We would have get-togethers where Symphonia was added to our GameCube playlist. Then I reached further and discovered websites such as Mizuho, Holy Star, and Tales Central just to learn and express my love for this game. I even went on a chat room dedicated to Symphonia alone every school day after I was done my homework. It was networking like this that made me love Symphonia back then. After 8 months of Symphonia, I bought my next title in the series, Tales of Phantasia on the GBA, and you could say my Tales repertoire skyrocketed from there. Learning about other games through YouTube from people like the Master Double L, downloading ROMs with translation patches such as Kajitani Asan's Narukiri Dungeon 3 patch. One of my first YouTube videos was a cast of characters for Tales of the World Narukiri Dungeon 3. Those 2 games helped as I was in anticipation for the next localized game in the series, Tales of the Abyss. And with only 1 video from IGN to hype me over, I made sure to get the game on the day of its release. I was also into AMVs at the time, and one of my influences was A745, whom later chose one of my videos as an AMV of the month for her new website, at the time, Abyssal Chronicles, and we all know where that is now. I started on Tales of Eternia and Tales of Destiny through emulation, but only continued on Eternia for the rest of my summer in 2007. Finally got a PSP in December 2007, and Radiant Mythology was the only game I had for it for a long time. Then fast forward a year later with Dawn of a New World, of which I let my sister play the bulk of, and she never forgave me for that ever since. I had a Tales drop due to it being my final years of high school, but the interest was still there. Keeping up with news on Innocence, Vesperia, Graces, and Hearts. It wasn't until I got my own Xbox in 2011 that I got my next game in the series, Vesperia, and then the 3DS port of Abyss in 2012. And finally came 2013. I went on a huge Tales binge to rebuild my collection. Graces F, Legendia, Symphonia PS2, Japanese Exilia 2, Eternia, Destiny 2, Rebirth, Destiny, Vesperia First Strike, Exilia, Japanese Eternia PSP, Symphonia Chronicles, European Eternia PSP, Exilia 2, Innocence R, Radiant Mythology 3, Twin Brave, Phantasia Cross, and Hearts R. Yeah, a huge binge that was. Overall, Tales has been a big part of my life since taking that risk in 2005, and encouraged me to take more risk with playing different types of games since then. Hope to hear everybody else's history with the Tales series, whether in video, fan art, or blog form. And have a happy Tales of 20th anniversary year with the release of Tales of Zestiria. Until next time, take care.